Hello, welcome to another video from the Thirsty Thrifters. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, we actually said that a lot recently. This video is going to be about thrifting in England. We just got back from England, visiting for the first time. And we'll do a very small haul. But Dave, show them the wine that you've never heard of from us.
Brown County Merlot. It's our favorite wine. We got a case of it coming in the mail tomorrow.
We were so ready to, we had lots of wine on our trip, but we were ready to have Merlot when we got home. So we are. We've been home a few days, but the Merlot's almost gone.
Just adjusting to the time.
What? It's been a few days. We're adjusted.
I'm just adjusted. Just today.
So we're going to first talk about the places we went that had some thrift stores, or the first place we went had vintage stores more, not thrift stores. But just so you know that we went all in different parts of the country. We weren't like in one town, and it's not that limited of an experience. We did go to 5 towns that had thrift stores or something like it all over.
Riding trains.
Yeah, we rode a lot of trains. The first place we went was Camden Market, which is in London, and we did not know what to expect. And the actual little market had so many, it was kind of like a flea market, wouldn't you say?
I don't know.
What would you call it?
It was a village. It
was all indoors, and they had very small little shops, but there were lots of vintage clothing shops.
Yeah.
Which I looked for. I would have loved to take home like a t-shirt. That's what I was looking for, or one for him that was from anywhere in England, and like every shirt said Brooklyn or San Francisco.
They're all American.
So we didn't buy anything. I mean, I would have paid like £15 for it. No, didn't buy anything. We got a few pictures, which you can probably put in here. Like there was a red jacket I thought was really neat. They did have lots of Burberry. You remember all the Burberry stuff we saw? Yeah. And Ted Baker. It was the first time I'd ever seen Ted Baker in person.
You saw him? Did you say hello to him?
The designer item. This first
I
time I ever saw an
person.
item. I don't even know if that person is alive. I don't know.
We saw gypsies.
That's a different
In person.
story. So we did not buy anything there. It was a little bit expensive for us. And we only...
Oh, I bought a tattoo there.
Oh, yeah, he got a tattoo.
I got that one.
That was his
in
souvenir.
London. Camden Market.
We are very much into non-cluttering souvenirs, like food and tattoos and...
Cluttering up my arm with tattoos.
Right. And we only had carry-on luggage, so this is why we didn't buy much at all.
No.
And we were very picky. So after that, we actually found some real thrift stores. The first town that we found real thrift stores was Windsor.
Charity shops too. They're not
called
thrift
charity
stores
shops.
there.
So it was Windsor. If Windsor sounds familiar, it's because there's a
castle there.
Windsor Castle, where the Queen lives. So my friend that we visited first lives in Windsor, and we walked through the little village right outside the castle. You can see it as you're walking through the streets. I think we went to about 5. I think they had 6, and we found like 5 of them. Did we buy anything at those?
I don't think so.
Yes, I did.
What
One
did
of
you
these
buy?
items is from there. We're gonna do the haul at the end.
Oh yeah.
I think
we're not
one.
talking about it right now.
Yeah. Then a few days later, we were up in Windermere, which is in the north of northern part of England.
In the Lake District.
Yeah, this is more countryside, small towns. We did hiking there, but that little town did it have 2 or 3?
I don't know.
It was 2 or 3 in this little town.
They have as many sheep as they do people.
Okay. Did you read that somewhere?
No, I'm
He's just
making things up.
Okay. After that, we did go to one in Manchester. So Manchester's a very big city, which we didn't realize how big it was. But this was like in downtown Manchester. It was probably the closest to an American thrift store, but
the prices were high.
They were higher. It reminded me more of a vintage clothing store.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that one later. Will we? Did we buy anything there?
Why do you want to talk about it later? We're actually
When
talking
we do the
about
haul.
What'd you get from there?
I didn't get anything from there.
So we will not be
We would have had
talking
to
about it
go to
later.
an ATM and get money.
Cash
that
only?
one I remember had so much J. Crew. I don't understand why.
I saw a lot of J. Crew there.
But like I was just flipping through. It's like J. Crew Factory, J. Crew. I don't know why. Some
don't
old,
either.
some new, but I didn't have room to buy all that stuff. And then the last place we went to thrift stores was in a town called Buckingham. It's not Buckingham Palace area.
It's a very small area.
Small town. The Prime Minister does live there. We gotta pause. My kids just arrived.
We're back.
We are back. The kids are back.
Summer break.
They're making noises. Okay, we were saying Buckingham, small town, Prime Minister lives there. They actually had 5 thrift stores, and we bought the most in that town.
They were the closest to like regular
The
thrift
first
stores
one.
because they weren't priced for tourists. They were priced for just like locals.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we got more stuff there.
So those are the 5 places we saw thrift stores, or the first one was more vintage stores. But we went into over a dozen thrift stores while we were there. And that sounds like a lot, but it wasn't. Because we're going to go through right now the differences we found between American thrifting and British thrifting.
I was gonna say they're
The first
different.
one is what? We made a list so I don't forget.
They're way smaller.
Way smaller.
So if you think of a Goodwill, it's about probably an eighth of the size.
Oh, yeah.
They're tiny.
Like it was 5 minutes in and out, 5 minutes in the thrift shop, and I didn't look through every item because I didn't have much room, and my thought started being, if it's something I might wear and it could be resold, then I'll look at it. And there wasn't a ton, but yeah, they were tiny. Like I might find 2 pairs of jeans in my size in the whole store.
I might find none.
Yeah.
Like
That
almost
happens
every
in
single
America too.
Yeah, almost every single store they didn't even have my size clothes.
The second difference I have written down is they were much nicer. And the thing I can say that demonstrates that very well is they put their clothes on wooden hangers. You're not going to find those at our thrift stores. Everything was on a wooden hanger. Nice printed tag. I mean,
But everything in England is a little bit nicer than
That's true.
here.
we kind of liked it. The third thing, you want to read? I'll let him talk some.
Oh, so they're called charity shops because they're for an actual charity. So each store is called, like, what was one of the names?
There
of
was
them?
one
Like,
for Heart
cancer,
Foundation. There was cancer.
Heart Foundations.
Our kids
Different types of charities.
My kids are tiptoeing in the most strange way through the hallway.
All right, well,
Like not normal tiptoeing.
focus, Tara.
Sorry, it's funny.
Okay.
She looks like she's dancing strangely.
I didn't see it.
Okay, they're for specific charities, and that's the name of the shop. So if you didn't know that it was a thrift store, like it doesn't tell you thrift store in the name. It's not like Goodwill and everyone knows what Goodwill is.
I just thought it was a place you could go and give them money or something. I just thought it was like I had no idea it was a thrift store at all.
Yeah, and we have those here, but not nearly as many. Like
I've never seen one.
every thrift store there was like that. The one other thing I noticed is there are way smaller hard goods sections. Like there may be one shelf of glassware and pottery or books.
And it's mixed with some other stuff.
Yeah,
probably.
there's not much at all. It's almost entirely clothing.
With that said, we did buy some hard goods though.
Just a few little tiny things.
Just kind of like for souvenirs.
We'll come back to the brands at the end. Number 6, you said that one.
Oh yeah. So instead of people that work there for money, they have pretty much volunteers that work at all the charity shops, and most of them need help. So there's signs up asking for volunteers and donations.
Yeah, that was the other thing. There were signs like saying, desperately need donations. We have so many donations that we have Goodwill outlets, but they're all desperate for donations. But along that line,
Along that lines,
Along those lines.
Long damn lines.
Stop.
Long damn lines.
Stop it.
Sorry.
This may be the video where I punch him.
Ha.
They
We have
seem
evidence on film.
they seem to be pickier about what they put out. Like I didn't see anything with a stain or a rip. I mean, it was more like a consignment shop. It was all nice stuff. Like if I wanted to find things for my personal wardrobe, yeah.
It was more like a consignment shop because
Yeah.
you know how like you're at a consignment shop and there's somebody going through the stuff they just got as
And
they're working
picking
the
out,
counter.
yeah.
They do the same thing
Yeah.
at these shops.
So they don't just put everything out. It's only nice things. And then the last difference I noticed was I saw the same brands over and over, and many of them I had never heard of. But then, you know, when you're walking around and you, like, especially in Windsor, they had the actual shops, like the, kind of like an outdoor mall. They're called Windsor Royal Shops or something. So, I saw all kinds of Marks and Spencer, which I've seen here, but not nearly as much. And then it says M&S sometimes.
I wondered.
Do you remember that?
I remember that
a
a lot.
They have food stores too. They have all kinds of stuff, but there
They
were
have
lots
food
of
stores?
There were
In
M&S foods.
Oh, okay. I would hope they have food stores.
There was a brand called Next I saw all the time. I don't think it's a really high-end line. What are you doing? Is that one of your things?
Yeah.
He'll show you. He bought one thing. I saw
Only
that
one
constantly. A brand called Super Dry, which I'd never heard of.
Fat Face?
That's on the list.
Is it?
But Super Dry, I would say, is similar to like an Under Armour, a Nike. It was outdoor wear, but I saw it everywhere. People wearing it, and in the thrift
I saw
stores.
Fat Face more than anything.
I saw that too. Okay, so we'll just say Fat Face too. I think that was probably more Nike.
I skipped stuff on the list. Oh my gosh.
You can't
What are we
follow
gonna
the plan.
do?
Barber was a brand I saw, outdoor wear. There was a Barber coat in one of the shops I almost bought for myself to wear because I was freezing, but I did not. It was 28 pounds, so that would have been like the most expensive coat I've ever bought. But I know, I'm cheap. Karen Millen, which I have heard of. I have sold a formal dress of hers that I found here, but I saw it all over, and I saw an actual storefront for just her. Phase 8 I saw, never heard of that. I think that was probably similar to like, not Maurice's, but like a mall brand. It wasn't high-end or anything. I saw lots of Topshop, which I've purchased and resold here, but they have it's from England, so they have way more, but I couldn't fit it in my bag. And then the thing I saw the most probably was Zara, which we have here also, but not nearly as much. But there was so much Zara. I probably saw 100 to 200 pieces of Zara. Couldn't bring it home. I mean, it
Wouldn't
wasn't all
fit.
that cheap anyway. It was like 5 pounds, 7 pounds. So I would have made a little bit of profit, but not worth it. So that's the differences we found. Did you think of any more while we were talking?
Prices. It was a little bit higher.
It's higher than Indiana.
Yeah.
It's not higher than like California, New York.
Yeah.
There'd be shirts for 5 pounds, 6 pounds. Why are you staring at me? 5 pounds, 6 pounds. They knew some brands. I think you can put in the pictures here. I took 2 pictures. One was a Ted Baker something, I think. I can't remember what the other one was. And I saw the tags. I was like, oh, I could resell that. But they were 45 pounds. So they knew them. They knew those brands. So we're going to show you what we did buy, which is not much. You can go first because you have more items. Dave's purchases.
So I packed 5 pairs of shorts.
Dave's
in
going
my
on
carry-on.
summer vacation.
We get there and it's a little colder than I expected, and I didn't wear shorts at all. So, and it rained like 7 out of 10 days. So
he wore the same pair of jeans for like
Ever.
10 of the 11 days.
I wore them for 12 out of the 10 days.
So he bought these in Windermere
These were 5 pounds.
because we were going hiking.
At a charity shop. They're Mountain Life, waterproof pants. They got the job done.
Yeah, he wore those on our hike.
They're very loud. Every step I take, you could hear me. I wasn't going to sneak up on anybody.
The first thing I bought was out of necessity as well. I had taken Annie's llama backpack from school as my personal item for the plane, and it broke the first day, and I had to have a backpack to carry my stuff. So
Tara breaks everything she
one
touches.
one of our viewers had mentioned Kath Kidston, so we got there and we're driving through Windsor the very first day, and I saw they had a Kath Kidston store.
It's like right across from the
It was right
castle.
there. Yeah, it is like right across from the castle. And so we went in there the first day, and I thought I may have to buy one of those backpacks. So I did. This was not a thrift store. It was at the shop, but I had to have a backpack. And it's cats, if you can't tell. Watch out, Dave.
We like cats.
But Annie will take this for school next year, and I don't get to see it anymore. But I did carry it for 8 days, and it was waterproof, which really helped because we got rained on a lot.
All right, your turn.
That was my turn,
Oh,
sir.
my turn. So
The other thing he
I got
bought
was
for
a
hiking.
raincoat. There's no brand on it. It was at the same charity shop as I got the pants, and it was another £5. So for £10, I'm completely weatherproof. But it came in handy. I used it the whole rest of the trip. I carried it everywhere I went because it rained all the time.
And before you think like I'm so cheap that I wouldn't let him buy clothing, he wore the same pair of jeans, but I kept saying, do you want to go buy another pair of jeans? Do you want some more pants? Like, we would have paid full price at a real store, but he could not stand to pay that.
I'm cheap too.
Luckily, he found those for £5. I'll show the little cards.
Oh wow, this is a very, very cool purchase.
This was at a store called Oxfam. You see that tag? For 99p, which is less than £1. And we play cards a lot, and we get them kind of sticky because we're usually eating like cheese and nuts when we're playing cards. So they have dogs on them. These are not all the same.
Yeah, you
I
got
got them all mixed up. Dogs.
Dogs.
We just thought they were cute. And we've gotten playing cards from the last 2 vacations, and that may be our thing now.
Tattoos and playing
Cancun
cards.
and England.
We're a tattoos and playing cards type family.
You
Alright.
can have all the tattoos.
I know, that's why I like this family. This is 50p. Jack Daniels dice. Comes in a little carrying case, and it's got some poker dice. We didn't know what it was worth or anything. It's not worth anything, but...
No, it's not.
It's
found
pretty
out.
cool.
And we don't play this.
Oh, we will now.
We'll have to learn. I have another picture you can put here.
Oh, good.
At that same little shop. Was that in Windermere too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same shop
Same
as I got
shop
the
where you
pants.
got your clothes. They had a little plaque that had Garfield on it that I took a picture of, which I thought was funny because Garfield was created by Jim Davis in Muncie, Indiana, 30 minutes from our house. And it's the town that has Ball State University where I met the girls I was visiting in England.
Oh, wow. Small world.
I mean, I know Garfield's huge, but I just thought it was funny. Okay, my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, this was the first thing I bought to resell, possibly, and it is listed already. All Saints. I did see lots of All Saints, like probably a dozen All Saints things. Just a t-shirt with horses on it. I bought this because it was the cheapest All Saints thing I found. £4, and then I got home and realized it was £7, which is like $8.50.
Oh. That's about how much
So,
everything was. It was
I hope it sells.
$7 to $10.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's for sale.
Um,
You got jeans, you got boots.
I picked up these jeans because I wore the same jeans for a long time.
Yeah, you did.
These are Next Slim.
Yeah, they're like tight jeans on Dave.
Yeah.
He never
Well,
wears tight jeans.
that was the style over there, so I wanted to kind of fit in. I didn't want to look like a stupid American. So I got some
Shoe line.
slim jeans and some of these boots. I'll show you the boots in a second.
I got a North Face, what is it called?
Jacket.
Pullover.
Mhm.
This was in, not Birmingham, Buckingham.
Birmingham.
It was 8 pounds, I think. That's like
there is
$10.
a Birmingham, though.
Yeah, there probably is. There's a Buckingham, Indiana. No, there's a Windsor, Indiana.
Oh.
We need to figure out what
There's
that sounds
also
like.
a Peru, Indiana.
I know. Okay, it's just a North Face fleece. I thought it was pretty unique with the pockets like this. I don't like the color on myself, so I'm probably going to sell it.
Why don't you like the color on yourself?
It's like too plain.
I like it.
You can wear it.
Use the bleach marker.
I'm not using
we're
a
not
bleach
marker.
marker.
North Face pullovers. Oh, these are the boots I
You've got boots in his size. Navy blue. What is there a brand on them?
No.
He was looking all kinds of European with
Angelo Litrico, Litrico.
never heard of it, but they fit him and he could wear them for all kinds of things.
Yeah.
The last thing I bought was a pair of Birkenstocks,
Yeah.
which were in pretty decent shape, and it says they're size 8 on them, but they are way big on me. They were 12 pounds, which is about $15. I have them listed for $60 right
Nice.
now, so we'll see if those sell. Yeah, I almost got rid of these because they were taking up a lot of room in my bag.
Got rid of them.
Like, left them there for somebody else.
It's not a good idea.
If we couldn't fit everything in, those were gonna go.
No.
Okay, is this your very
My last thing. I found this at one of the. Which one was it? Oh, it was in Buckingham.
That was in Buckingham. The one store that looked most like an American thrift store. It was about 3 times as big as the others.
Yeah. It was like £1, and I was like, we have a game collection, so I collect games.
They're magnetic, so that's good. Like if you're on,
Travel, chess, and checkers, and backgammon.
yeah, if you're on a bumpy ride, they won't go flying everywhere because they stick. So that is all we bought from thrift stores. We're not going to pay for our vacation with that, but
No. It wasn't
it
anything
was
like
interesting.
my expectations were totally different than
Yeah.
what it actually was.
It was very interesting. If I lived there, I'm sure I could find enough eventually to make a profit.
It'd be harder
But
there.
it'd be a much slimmer profit because I didn't see many good deals at all. Even if I didn't have to pack it or ship it or buy a carry-on bag or a checked bag.
It would be hard to make money there.
Harder. There might be sources that we don't know about, but I mean, we went to 5 cities and that's our experience. It was pretty similar in all the little towns. And we went to some rich towns. I mean, Windsor is very well off.
I heard the Queen's got a little money.
A little bit.
Somebody told me that.
And Buckingham has lots of nice looking homes.
And roundabouts.
Lots of roundabouts.
320 some roundabouts in that one city. What was it called? It was where the train station was.
Milton Keynes.
Yeah, they have 320 some roundabouts in one town.
We don't have any.
That's a little excessive.
We
But
don't have
hey.
any.
All right, well,
That's the wrap up of our thrifting in England.
it's good to be back.
We may do another video just on our trip in general because there was lots more than just thrifting.
Yeah, that was a very small part of what we were doing.
Yeah. But for those of you who watch our thrifting videos, that'll be the most pertinent part to your lives. So, no questions for this video? Did you miss us?
Yeah. That's a good one.
You should see your face. Why would anyone miss you guys? All right,
Yeah,
we're
we have
good.
an audience tonight.
She's very close.
All up
I
in
can
our
touch her face with my hand.
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
All right, let's
All
quit
right.
now.
And we're done.
Good night.
Good night.